Hi everyone, welcome back to Drinks at Dana's. I'm here with Chris and Jess from the L Word Online, and today we're of course going to be discussing episode 2 from season 3 of the L Word Generation Q, Los Angeles Traffic. And this was a big episode with swooping changes throughout the show. So there's a lot to discuss and we're going to get right into it, I think. So how are you guys doing?
Yeah, good. It's about 30 degrees here, so I'm sweaty.
It's freezing here and it's dark. It's 6 a.m.
Good. Turkey hangover from Thanksgiving.
Oh, I'm so jealous. I want some turkey leftovers.
I didn't send you a picture this year. I've sent you a picture every year for like the last 10 years.
I know. I said Happy Thanksgiving and I got no reply.
Sorry.
Jess not replying? No.
All right. She's great texting.
I think a lot of people were getting reminiscent vibes because this episode aired over Thanksgiving weekend or Thanksgiving week. Like, happy Thanksgiving to everyone, because it gave everyone, I think, that flashback to when you first discover the L Word. You're probably like in high school or college and you have to like sneak showtime, so everybody's like at their Thanksgiving turkey like, I need to go and watch Bette and Tina like rail each other, even though it's the year 2022. And that's what I'm thankful for in the year 2022.
This was a great Bette and Tina episode. I mean, Bette and Tina fans right now are like, they may have all had heart attacks. I don't know how many will actually tune in because like so excited right now. It was very good.
I feel as though there was like this massive like absolute peak where the episode had just aired when I was making my videos and stuff, where I was so happy. But then by the time I put I'd done editing my video because I talked and thought about it so much, then like the thoughts started to creep in, like, why have we done nothing for 2 years and then we've done everything in one episode? And why is Bette, just after a day being like, screw long distance relationships or anything, like, I'm off to the airport without a jacket and no passport, baby, let's go to Toronto. I know it's a TV show, I'm taking it too seriously, but you know what I mean.
Yep, it all had to happen right then and there.
So will we start at the beginning to get to our grand crescendo? We start off basically exactly where we left off, which I also was thankful
Heard of in L Word.
I know, they're really
it picked up right where it left off.
They're really throwing some wrenches in the work this season.
It's like we're in bizarro L Word land. Everything upside down.
They couldn't get rid of Angie fast enough.
Yeah, she totally did do the whole nope and then left.
So we basically my complaint last week about the hair.
I was thinking about you.
A more minor complaint also last week, but was accelerated greatly this week, was, can someone turn a goddamn light on, please? Between the hair and the light, like,
it was very dark.
Tiny little like grievance, because obviously like putting out all this L Word content, like I want a perfect screenshot to do a perfect thumbnail, and when you can't get one from an episode of people kissing, like, I mean, first world problems, but please turn the lights on, push the hair back.
But you got an entire cold open of Bette and Tina having sex, so
I know, yeah. I can't be greedy, but I love that bit where Bette was saying, it's been a long time, like, I'm different. I seriously, like, that hit me like right in the heart. I was like, that's so, I don't know. Like,
I started calculating because I'm like, wait, how long has it been? How many years? Because the showtime's always so unclear of like the timeline and how much time has passed and how many years, and I'm like, wait, how long were they like on a break or like separated before they were actually divorced?
Yeah.
Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what age Angie was when they like actually got divorced. I'm like,
I mean, not to be like that person, but I think that I'm an L Word historian, and I don't even have a definite answer for you, but we know that they got divorced right around when Kit's funeral was. Kit passed away, and that wasn't, a super long time ago. And it seems as though Carrie was the first person that Tina dated at like seriously after. So I think when we see them in season 1, it's been like 2 or 3 years maybe, because it also seems like there's no, like Angie is like, my parents are divorced, there's no kind of toing and froing about it. So I do think like at least 2 years has passed, but honestly, if we'll ever get a clear answer, I don't know.
So roughly 3 years ish.
Because my brain is saying that like, oh, it's like 10 years, but I'm like, no,
that's just been how long it's been for us.
Feels like, I know.
Yeah. 2009 was when season 6 aired.
So,
oh god, I feel so old.
I know.
Yeah, nearly 15. I mean, after this episode though, I feel like they're just going to be like, we've been together for 25 years, which I'm fine with.
But also, I mean, yeah. Also, I get that line, but also Jennifer Beals is like flawless. So it's like, really, come on, you look better than you did like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Whatever long it's been. It's like, okay.
I did notice that their nudity clause is still in action.
Well, I was mostly like checking out their lingerie, like, oh, what are they wearing?
I mean, that's the thing. Like, I know. One, also, I will always say Laurel Holloman has never had a bad sex scene, and the streak continues. But there was a lot of people that were like, I wouldn't say disappointed, but they wanted like more. And I cannot get on that train. Like, I was completely happy. Like, I thought we got more than we ever would. I really didn't think that we would get that again. And who's to say we're not going to get more, Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. There's still episodes to go this season, so.
I didn't love the song they played over the top of it.
I absolutely fucking hated it, so. I didn't like, even last week, I can't remember whether we talked about this last week or not, but the scene where they like actually kiss is so much better without the music, because it's such a big moment. Like, I don't want it to be overpowered by, I don't know, I'm not like a huge music person, so that could be me also. But so yeah, 10 out of 10. Well done, ladies, well done. Thank you.
I thought it was really good. I was impressed. It felt like, classic like the good L word scenes that we like.
Yeah.
Chris just doesn't like Bette and Tina.
Yeah, I just don't like them. I'm reserving my judgment, I'm reserving the right.
Boo, boo, boo.
I was about to say that you'd say, show me anyone else having sex, but I'm like, that's not true either. You hate everyone except for like one couple. You're like, just this person that I think is hot is the only one I want to see.
Hate is a strong word. I don't hate them.
I know.
I just thought the scene was a little mediocre for me. After 12 years waiting. Like, I'm not a fan of theirs, but if I was, I would have been disappointed in that scene, because I was like, I want more. It's too, like you said, too dark, can't say anything, music's too loud.
It was very short.
I'm a fan of them when they're good, and this was definitely like a good Bette and Tina episode.
Yeah, listen, I'll take what I can fucking get, so.
I could practically hear like the squeals around the world of
oh my god,
Bette Tina stans.
Yes,
enjoying this episode.
Yeah, I mean that's kind of like what I said this in my video, like stuff like this is, and it's so much bigger than just TV show, because there is like that connection that I think most people who watch the show, like, this was their foundational knowledge of like, it's okay that you have these feelings, and it's okay, like, you can still have this love or whatever you want to have. And I just think that when you're still able to tap into that, like, I've thought this about them since I was like 16 years old, and to also see them, even like as actors and stuff, still have the chemistry and things, to be able to reach people in that way, to have such a huge emotional impact. I mean, that's what you want people to feel things, like, not to get too like, bad or something, but it's art, and you're absolutely touching people in that way, that it's not some, like, I don't know, like cheap and dirty soap where it's like, oh, they're just hot. Like, there's so much more to it than that.
I feel like they gave the fans what they've been asking for.
Yeah, and specifically Jennifer Beals and Laura Holloman gave us that. So because it wouldn't have happened without them, that's for damn sure. So yeah, onto our one scene where Gigi interacted with a human being, right?
Yeah.
Her other two scenes were alone.
Unless they were alone. Yeah.
She was still flawless by herself in that scene.
I know, but like
say.
it's so strange to me. She just like looked already like she's given up. Like her whole energy and her demeanor was already like, oh well, I pretty much have let. I don't know. I just got this.
I don't blame Seppi one damn bit.
I know. I don't blame her either. I'm like, well, yeah, I'm with her, but like, she already looks very much like, peace out, bro. Like, she's tapped out. She's just doing the scenes because she has to, which is sad because I really like Gigi.
It's a high crime.
I also feel like the writing for her has gotten a little bit like shorter and direct and like meaner.
They have to go. Like, that's it. Like, they've just said, we have to get this character out in as few episodes as possible, and they don't care how they do it.
Yeah, it just feels very much like they character assassinated her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, somebody said this yesterday I think it was in my live. Jess and I were talking about the fact that Seppi's leaving and all that stuff, and somebody was like, I wouldn't be surprised if next episode, because they're character assassinating, if next episode it was like, Gigi's been cheating with Nat all along. Like, it wouldn't shock me.
Yeah. Well, we know something's going to happen because in the preview we see her throwing Dani's throwing a beverage at a car.
I mean, I've been assuming since that trailer came out that Nat and Gigi were in there because they go to Alice's 100th episode.
Yeah, they're holding hands in the preview. Which I'm like, don't like it. I also didn't like that Gigi called Dani Daniela.
Oh, I love that.
No, not in the tone that she used. Oh, because she was all very like Daniela, like she was in trouble. Like when parents say your full name. I was like, no, I don't like that tone. If she was saying it in a playful way, I would be all over that. But we hadn't seen her do that before. Not that we, yada yada over a year of their relationship, but anyway.
I'm totally on Gigi's side with this one though. She called Dani out for acting like a child and it kind of shut her up a little bit. And I'm like, yeah. Then she has to go check in with all her other friends and be like, it's like, am I the asshole? Yes, you are.
I feel like Dani's being kind of character assassinated
too.
Like I feel like she'd grown in like the last season. Last season she seemed more mature. Now it seems like
2 days with Gigi, she was like more mature.
Yeah, now it's like they've slid her backwards again.
And it's been a year, like, and not only has it been a year, but
Dani said like, oh, this has
been the hardest year of my life. And like when you go through shit like that, like I hate using the word change for people because I believe people like fundamentally who they are, but as the case with Bette, like you can go to therapy, you can improve, grow, whatever. And I feel as though in the hardest year of her life, like Dani would have gone through some shit and like it just, I don't know why they've just suddenly had her be this like petulant or something. It's just really bizarre. So next we go over to Casa del Shane and Tess, and they're in bed talking about the other property because they have the only lesbian bar in LA, as we know.
I know, and it's strange that they have
two. And again, I'm like, right next door to the other one? Yeah,
right next door to each other. Like that doesn't make any sense. 2 lesbian bars next to each other. I don't know.
But also, I wonder how well they are doing because, as we 3 all know, the semi-tropic, the real data is tiny. So, like, how busy can it be?
I mean, it's kind of true that like there are no lesbian bars in LA. I mean, there's like nights and stuff. I don't know. Someone tell me if there's any permanent lesbian specific bars. I don't know of any.
I'll let you know in January when I'm there for the watch party, doing my lesbian bar tour.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some queer bars.
So thoughts, feelings on what's going on with Shane? I mean,
I don't like it. She's being very pushy.
Well, like, and in that scene when they're like in bed and Shane's asking her if she's trying to like, I don't know, seduce her or something.
Manipulate her.
Say yes. I'm like, so she's just spending Shane's money now? Because Tess isn't going to open a bar. I mean, Shane's the one with the bankroll.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
And the fact that Shane already said, I'll think about it. And then she's like, oh, you still haven't said yes. Dude, she said she'd think about it. Like,
it's kind of annoying. And she's...
and then literally takes a phone call with the like saying there's an inspector arranged already. Like, she's already going ahead with it.
Which also costs money.
Yeah. Shane's
That's
money.
some, like, passive-aggressive, like, wife BS right there. Some, like,
Yeah.
Those are usually, like, spousal issues, not, like, girlfriend
But again,
issues.
they needed to put some kind of, like, something in there for Shane to get wiggly.
I remember as well, I think this was probably back between season 1 and 2 hiatus. I remember Kate, like, being really like, the last thing I want is for Shane to just do what she did in the original, like, cheat and stuff. So I do find this bizarre, because I mean, I feel like they're really, the stuff with the later on in the episode too, and even the previews where it seems evident what's going to happen. So I don't know whether they're setting this all up, but
Yeah. They totally are. There was a text from Ivy at some point as well.
yeah, I mean, I think that Jamie Clayton is amazing. Like, she is a great person, and she was so wonderful to me. And I just don't know why you would, especially on a TV show where you're with the cast all the time, they're in these characters for years and years, why you wouldn't pull on that thread a little bit of her, because she has such a great personality. And Tess, it's like, outside the mom and the bar, like, we don't even really tap into a lot to do with, like, her alcoholism or anything, because sometimes I feel as though they make it like, oh, so you stop drinking and you're, like, cured, and it's like, it's an ongoing thing all the time. So maybe we're gonna get that next episode when Carrie comes back, and, like, Finley and stuff. But I would like to know more about Tess from the stuff we've already established, like stuff like that, rather than, like, bringing in the mom and stuff just to kind of be like, oh, here's Tess's personality or whatever.
Well, yeah, to me it seems more like Tess was holding that, like, ex-alcoholic card who's going to help Finley, and then they've kind of now they're angling to replace with Kerry.
Yeah.
So I feel like the Tess and the alcohol storyline's now gone. And we got that for a brief moment in this episode when Finley's calling Tess, and Tess is like, busy.
Which, again, doesn't seem like her. Like,
no.
Like, I mean, at least not how her personality was originally, where she seemed like someone who would drop anything to help someone. Yeah. And especially, like, relationships, where she wouldn't hold, like, a romantic relationship above, a friendship or something. It just doesn't seem like her. I don't know. This whole season to me seems like almost someone who's
Bizarro
like bipolar
universe.
And she's in kind of like a, manic state right now a little bit, as if like, oh, everything's,
perfect,
peachy and
Mm-hmm.
and like very high energy and like, let's do stuff. And yeah, it just seems very different from how Tess was before.
Yeah. So next up is the beginning of the Pictionary, setup of the Pictionary. Finley saying she played games in sober living, and Sophie doesn't like to lose.
And Sophie saying that Maribel doesn't like Finley.
It's just Maribel.
Yeah.
She hates you. Like,
yeah.
Jesus, yeah.
Does it seem like Sophie knows a ton about Micah and Maribel's relationship as much as you would if they're your roommates?
And your sister, yeah. And I'm just gonna be truthful too. I've mentioned this in other places too, that the first watch through, I couldn't do it. I fast forwarded a lot of these scenes because fast
forwarded the L word.
I know. I am like the audience. Like, I talk about the show 19 hours a day, every day. And I just couldn't. And also, I feel as though certainly my audience feels the same way. And when the show's on, there's like over 1 million people a month that come through my channel. And if you look at my retention, like even our retention in Drinks at Dana's, you literally just see people skipping over. Like this Sophie, I'm telling you, I'll show you the graph later. Like, it is the strangest retention graph I've ever seen in my life. And I have tried to share this information with shows just out of their own interest. I've been like, oh, you know, like there's 1 million people that come through here and this is what they're doing. That maybe be of interest, but they're not interested. So I'll show you. It's insane. Like you just see huge dips.
This reminds me of when Jess and I used to watch it. We used to skip everything that didn't have Shane and Alice in it, which made the episode, like 2 minutes long?
That's about what you're going to be getting soon.
Oh, God.
And then we go back to Alice and Shane and Bette and Tina.
You mean the best scene of Gen Q? The best scene of Gen Q? Like, oh my God, we were capable of goddamn this the whole time? Like, oh God. It was just like the original, like really, it was brilliant. Like everything about that scene, I fucking loved it. Everyone was great. I just loved everything about it. Like Alice and Shane and their little like...
They're bickering.
Yeah, their little like Alice like, it's like no time has changed. Yes, it is like no time has changed for these few little precious minutes. And even Bette and Tina coming in and oh God, I just loved it. Loved every second of it.
To like force myself to be like, wait, they're at Dana's, not the planet. Like,
I know. In my review, I kept wanting to say at the planet.
the lighting seemed very planety. I don't know what it was about that. And then they sat down and they were having that little conversation. I felt like Alice and Shane were like me and you, Jess. We were, well, maybe not you because you're more into it, but the whole where they're like, what's the difference between DC and Marvel? Like, oh, like, and like, who's JoJo Siwa? Like,
it's like me talking to you two.
Like when they said Kalani's going to be on the episode, and we were like, who's Kalani?
Okay, at least I know who JoJo Siwa is.
Oh yeah, I do too. I do know who that is, but if I was just like, yep, gotcha.
Or it's like most old people everywhere. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know who these people are.
And then Shane going, I only understand half of what she said.
Yeah.
Although I do love Bette's. Like, I never liked that kid.
Oh yeah, Jordy. Yeah.
Like, there's a glimpse of old Bette. I'm like, yeah, we could tell. You did not like Jordy.
Love this scene. 10 out of 10. Well done. Well done. Whoever wrote this scene, continue.
Keep going.
And I also love that Auntie Shane knows what happened with Angie. Where,
yes.
Like, no one else.
Oh yeah.
I know.
They're like, what? What happened?
They're terrible parents.
See, things like that. The fact that like they don't have to like spoon, you know, and the whole point of that is at the end of the episode when she's like, I have Shane, I have other people outside of you guys, that they have this other relationship, that they've built that Shane and Angie relationship like over the season with these little things, not being like shoving 10 of them in one episode and being like, look at this, look, like it's organic. So I really like the Shane and Angie relationship.
I think the next scene might be the Pictionary scene.
What Pictionary? Every time it cut back to the Pictionary, I just kept getting irrationally angry.
I was just like, well, at least Finley's being funny.
Finley was perfect. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Finley's still perfect.
Finley was awesome.
Finley's the only I out of that scene, like I like Finley, and I could take or leave the others.
It was so awkward with the whole baby thing. I'm like,
she's so just like wants everyone to like her again, and is just trying so hard to like be nice to people, and accidentally lets the cat out of the bag about the baby thing. And poor Finley is just like, oh, not a strong start for me.
Yeah.
Like, she's just trying to have this nice little night and, you know, make friends with Maribel, who is not having it.
But Finley is nice too. Like, it's not like she's doing it to be like fake or anything. So yeah, I do like Finley.
She is the puppy. I just want everyone to be better to her, you know?
Yeah. Must protect Finley at all costs.
Because we know like her family's shit, and it's like her friends should not be letting her down, you know?
Bette and Dani, finally, some little crumbs of. I'm glad. I was really annoyed last season when they had them arguing, because I think that there was a real prospect there for Bette and Dani, I talked about this with Jess last night. We were saying, because she feels the same way you guys do about Sophie and Finley, that like them better as friends. And there was pieces in this episode of what could have been, because I honestly feel as though they should have done Gen Q as like the Alice, Bette and Shane show and introduced like Sophie with Alice at work, Bette, Dani, so, you know, that stuff they had going on. And if you had them coming in like these organic ways, instead of being like, this is the new friend group, like they're the mains, they have as much screen time as the others, blah blah blah, that because you were straight away doing that, it's a huge cast, and then it was pushing down like the screen time of the OGs, which is why people are coming to the show in the first place. So I mean, the Bette and Dani stuff, like I liked it, but I feel as though that's kind of it now. Yeah, I'm glad that they repaired the relationship and that they're good, but I don't know why they had to have them kind of argue in the first place.
But yeah, Bette was the one giving Dani like adult advice again about Gigi. She was like, can I talk to you about Gigi? She's like, sure.
Yeah, but then Dani has to see Bette with her ex all night long, which I'm sure being very friendly with her ex, which definitely doesn't help Dani's situation with Gigi and Nat interacting. But yeah, we get another fun Shane and Alice time and fan pleasing Bette and Tina time at the art opening.
Yes. I did like the little Nexium thing.
I had to Google it because I was like, have I heard about this before? Is this made up in the old word land? And I was like,
I have a video on my second channel you could watch.
The whole Alison Mack thing that I was obsessed with for a bit there. I was like, oh, it's that one. But I'm pretty sure it's non-existent now, is it?
No, it's my videos on Alison Mack and Nexium. It's on my second channel. If you would like to watch, it's called Coffee and Cults. But
find out she's in jail. I was like, what?
I know. Yeah, she's in Dublin in jail till I think she gets out next year. But there's still people that are in it. That Nikki Klein, I think from Battlestar Galactica, there's a show called The Vow, and they did the second season, and they interview, and there's still people that are like die hard, like in it, even though he's in jail.
Although that could have been an interesting storyline.
Yeah.
Run away.
It'll be like that, what was the vampire chick that she dated for a second?
That's it.
Oh yeah, Uta.
Okay,
yeah. So at the gallery, I really obviously liked all the stuff at the gallery. And then I told you, I saw that in the previews and I was like, they're going to recreate the whole earring gallery thing. And it was so cute, and I loved how they were so cute, walking around, and like even when they're like talking to each other, you can see them like pushing against each other, like because they're just so cute. I loved it, absolutely loved it.
Oh, there was that one shot of them looking at the artwork, and they both kind of tilt in looking at it. I'm like, I swear that's a recreation, right?
Yeah, there's lots of that stuff in this.
So I was like, I wrote in my notes, Ash has to give us the parallels.
Oh, yeah. Oh, there's a video coming out today, baby. By the time you listen to this, there's a video. Yeah, because there was even stuff like what they're wearing and stuff. There was a lot of like mirroring other scenes and blah, blah, blah. I mean, this is the thing. This all exists in my head. I don't know whether like, I feel as though there were some decisions that Jennifer and Laurel would definitely make. I would never talk about actors this way because I think otherwise people like show up, read their lines, get paid, that's it. But they're definitely different and are a lot more involved in like they've been playing the characters 20 years. Like they know what's going on. Like Jennifer's an executive producer. And I think that there's things that they've done that like maybe anybody else isn't even aware that's going on. But a lot of it matches up like too fucking perfectly too. So yeah, so they're at the Marcus Allenwood thing, and we get like a few scenes here where obviously Kayla and Mrs. Allenwood, I can't remember her first name, if we got first name, they're at the show, and yeah, Bette and Tina are just being adorable, and they have a discussion with Angie. And I mean, they don't have much choice, let's be honest, because, you know, we know they're not in whatever 6 episodes now, and then they're coming back. But I feel as though if they were in the rest of the season, they maybe wouldn't have done this. But the way they're so like, we're back together, like, it's not, you know, normally they're like, oh, we gotta see and we gotta talk and we gotta this and that. But I did like the way they were just, I mean, they had a falling out like 2 seconds later, but we'll get to that.
I love how Shane was just like, I told you this was gonna happen.
See, no, when Shane is walking towards Bette, I think she was saying to Alice, I told you about the Keith Raniere thing, and then it wasn't to Bette. That's what I thought anyway.
Oh no, I thought she was saying it to Alice, but I thought it was they saw Bette and Tina talking, and then one storm off, and they've turned and as they're walking towards them, Shane says to Alice, "I told you."
See, I wouldn't think Shane would say that.
They're already talking about their relationship behind their back.
Oh yeah,
yeah. See, I thought she was saying it about the Keith Raniere thing. Like, I told you she's a psycho, or she was in a cult or whatever.
No, because that hadn't happened yet.
No, I don't think that happened.
Yeah, she had the cut.
It was in the scene beforehand where she was saying there's red flags.
It's just the way Shane says it. She's like, I told you that would happen. And then it was like, so I just don't think Shane would say that.
That they would have a fight 2 seconds after getting together.
Yeah, I mean, maybe Shane thinks that in her head, but I don't think Shane would say that.
Would talk about stuff like that. They're not saying it to Bette. She's saying it to Alice.
Yeah, I thought she was saying that, like, oh, see, Bette screwed it up already. And
yeah.
No, I don't think she would say that.
Yes.
No.
We need our viewers to help us
watch that scene and see in what order it happens.
Okay, I'm gonna run a poll.
Yeah, run a poll on your Insta. No, you can't do it on yours because your fans are biased like you.
How dare you? You know what?
I love your fans, but
people tell me all the time, you're biased, and I'm like, yes, I fucking know. Like, I'm not hiding anything. So just to go back, because we're jumping around a little bit today, but when Angie and Kayla are talking, Kayla's her half biological sister, and Angie says about, this could be my hoe phase. I did not care for that.
No, I don't want to see Angie have a hoe phase. No. She's like the little baby that we remember being a little baby. We don't want to see her have a hoe phase.
Yeah, but I'm still like, you're 18 years old, you're away from home, you're at college. Yes, you should not be with your high school girlfriend. This is the perfect time to date people. Yes, I'm all for it.
It's true, but
don't be sad. Don't be sad she broke up with you.
No. But I just don't particularly want to see her hoe phase.
Yeah, because I think we're gonna see it, judging on the trailer where she throws the rock, because the car that she throws the rock through is shown in another split second in the trailer with like a Titanic, this is an old reference, handprint thing. So,
but like from the beginning you can see it set up, because that guy was with the other crazy guy who's just interested in Bette for whatever reason. And obviously they want something. And so when she's like, oh yeah, she's just my mom, the guy's like, oh, hello. Well, yeah, he could just be a one-night stand, but he could also be wanting something to do with Bette, maybe. I don't know.
I like that she kind of put him in his place, and then I was a little disappointed to see them making out later. I was like, you have the perfect walk-away moment. Like, just keep it there.
Yeah.
Whatever.
But also, like, she drives off at the end, and he's like, can I have your number? And she's like, I'm like, how are they ever going to find each other ever again? Like, it's LA. It's a big city.
I'm sure they'll go on social media to event of Marcus on.
Every TV show and movie, they're all like, let me just DM them. And I'm like, how are you even going to find them? Like, they're just like, boop, boop, boop.
Oh, I can find anyone.
That sounds like a challenge.
How do you think that I got this channel in the first place? Finding shit on social media. I didn't have any in the beginning. I didn't have anything to work with.
You know what that's like.
Yep.
Because Showtime don't give us anything.
So Shane and Alice have a very important conversation.
Yes.
At the art gallery.
It's really funny.
Very important conversation where Alice calls Shane out, which I love.
Yep.
I love that someone's acknowledging it, because Shane usually kind of self-implodes on her own, you know?
Yeah.
Without input from her friends until it's too late. And like you said, Ash, that like Kate had previously said that she didn't want her character to keep repeating this, and it's just felt Shane's storyline has felt kind of tired. Like, we've seen this before.
Yeah.
Like, same pattern. So I love that Alice called her out for when things get too real.
For me, it's the opposite. I'm like, oh yes, old Shane is back. I missed her. But like, it's so funny, like she gives the eyes to the waitress and immediately Alice is like, what was that?
Yeah, I love that. I love that they're all close enough friends that they can track and call each other out on that
stuff. So yeah, Shane's just like, what? And she's like, oh no. Like Alice immediately knows. She's like, oh no, it's happened. She's like, I'm literally watching you wiggle right now. She's like, I love how Shane is playing dumb though. She's just like, well, I don't know what we're talking about. What's happening? I love that she called it wiggle. You're wiggling. It's a whole new like catchphrase thing. Thanks, Elwood.
Well, and it's important to like know the triggers too. That she specifically calls it out for, like, this is too real. This is like too much, you know, real life. That it's not about just, oh, I see someone else who's attractive, I'm gonna go after that because I can't keep it in my pants. You know, it's like. There's definitely different psychological reasons behind Shane's kind of previous Playboy ways.
But Ivy called it out last episode too, where she said that she always pretty much was a fuckboy and always will be. So that's just Shane.
Yeah.
Although Bette can change, so can Shane. In one episode really fast.
See, I don't argue. I don't like the word change. I think that that's like, and I'll talk about this more at the end with the Bette speech, but I think that it's just, that's who Bette's always been. There was just stuff that was like covered up by like trauma and issues and panic and all the other stuff. And she just had to like sort through that stuff. Because I think you pretty much like are who you are, but it's how much work you put into yourself, into how you reflect yourself to the world. Because we can all like just be bastards and be horrible people and stuff like that, but it's, you know, what you choose to do, whether you come off as a good person or a bad person. Or
also for Keeper of the Timeline, the art gallery night is September the 22nd.
Yes, we did get a timestamp. Yeah, so a little timestamp. That's why the things are going to get even more confusing with the old timeline, because we know that episodes 1 and 2 took place over 2 days. I need like a little Ash's timeline woo sound or something.
You need like a whiteboard behind you. Oh no, she's got one. Here's one I prepared earlier. Oh good lord.
Here's one I prepared earlier.
Oh, see?
It's literally a timeline.
Hey, the timeline already doesn't add up.
Yeah, I know.
I'm like, wait a minute.
It's been 2 days, too.
But it's been a month if Angie went to campus for the first night and then the next day it's September 22nd. That's like a month difference. Yeah. At least, maybe 5 weeks. Like
maybe her college really is really far away and she had to walk home. And so it took her a month to walk home. So technically it's still first night of college.
It's also gonna get worse because next episode we know
Thanksgiving.
No, episode 4 is Halloween. But then, so we've got a month to work with. But we know that in episode 1, Dani came home to segregated Seppi, Gigi alone, guarded Gigi, gated Gigi. And she said, Sophie's going to talk to Alice about me doing her 100th episode. So that would deduce that there should be some sort of like preparation and planning and more than like a day. So it is the 100th episode next week. So we're probably going to skip like over 2 weeks, and it'll be like maybe, I don't know, like 10 days before Halloween. And then episode 4 is Halloween. But then we have episodes 5, 6, 7, 8 that are supposed to, I think 8 is ending with Thanksgiving. So we're squashing all those episodes into 2.5, 3 weeks. And then, because when I was on set, take a drink.
Oh, I've got it right here. Look at that. Look at that.
That they still had, spoiler alert, skip forward 45 seconds at least if you do not want to hear any spoilers whatsoever about the end of the season. It's very overarching, nothing specific. Like decorations out that were like pumpkins and shit. So it's like fall stuff. And then I think that the last 2 episodes are supposed to take place over like wintry to, I mean like November, end of November, December, but they're going from Bette and Tina running away together on the 22nd of September, and then they're gonna get married in December.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like they're talking about it. Even Showtime put it in their stuff. I mean, are they gonna skip? Are they gonna skip a year? Like, or are they gonna skip another year? Like, what is going on?
They really just need you on set to be keeper of the time.
I have volunteered my time for free. They do not want.
This will be the Halloween episode, and you go beep. Excuse me. So it's only supposed to be September still.
I told them I will do the timeline. I will do keeping the OG stories in check, keeping the OG stuff in check. I said I will do social media. No,
you can be special consultant.
Special consult. That was an excellent idea. But they, yeah.
I think it'll be a like Hallmark Christmas movie situation where like everyone will pitch in and
it was already like cheesy lesbian rom-com at the end of this.
Hey, everyone wants the cheesy lesbian rom-com, okay? Any of those.
We're not in the L word.
Horribly depressing. Like period piece 1800s lesbian.
Yes!
There is only one acceptable way.
No com, so no.
There is only one acceptable way. I will accept a rom-com ending in the L word, and it will involve Shane and Carmen.
Right, well, you're not getting that. That ship is gone.
God damn it. Sarah Shahi will come back, she said. Come on, Marcia.
She's literally tried to fight her way on set, and they still said no.
I know. Security's like, nope, you can't come in.
Don't worry, Sarah Shahi. They don't want my help either, so
I know.
We'll commiserate together.
Yep. We'll take it. We'll make a spin-off of our own with just Carmen.
Just Carmen.
Can we just go back to Pictionary for one moment?
No.
2 moments, actually. One, Micah hasn't told his mum that he's dating Maribel after living with her for 8 months. What the fuck?
This is going to sound real harsh. Real harsh. I really wish I cared. Like,
God, you sound like me with Bette and Tina now. Jeez.
I just like when that all started, I was like,
welcome to how I feel.
Only
I love how the not caring has washed over Ash's face.
Yeah. Do you know what I'm doing? I'm replaying the Bette and Tina in my head.
Oh my gosh. Back to the good stuff then.
The final note is I thought there's nothing they can do to make these people less interesting, and then they were like, let's have a baby, and I was like, okay.
I need a shot just for that to drink it.
Death nail for me.
Honestly, I think that's why Chris and I didn't love Bette and Tina from the get-go because it was like, episode 1, scene 1, let's make a baby. We're like,
let's make a baby. Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
That was a big hurdle for me. That was a big hurdle for me because I do not like that baby shit either. So yeah, but it was really a testament to the hotness of Jennifer Beals and Laura Holloman that I was able to get over that. Speaking of which, back to them. So they had their argument, which also just nothing. Like, I mean, I will say, like, totally get why Tina has like some issues around that, but like Bette was just like being cute. Like, she wasn't literally being like, you need to stay. And I think she was just trying to be like, oh, don't go. You know, the way you say to someone, like, that, you know, they have the intention of going, you know, they're going, but it's just like, oh no, stay. Like, whenever you're getting up in the morning and you're with someone and you're like, oh, I don't want to get up, don't go. Like, you know, you have to get up and get shit done, but there's L-word episodes to watch and talk about. So
yeah, I still like that Tina was very like firm with her boundaries.
Yeah. I guess, yeah, she has to be.
So I'm not gonna put up with your BS again.
Yeah, she was like,
this
bye.
Is not gonna be the Bette show again. I lived that for 30 years, however long it's been.
It's gonna be the Tina show now.
Yeah.
Tina runs this bitch.
That's gonna be a stay-at-home lesbian wife. So yeah, they have their argument, and then I just like they're just so good. Like, Jennifer Beals' face in that whole scene with Shane and Alice, and Shane and Alice are both so like, just, oh, bless them. They probably feel like saying, for fuck's sake, not this again. And they're just like, Bette, you know, come on, you can do it. You go. And yeah, I love that Alice and Shane were so involved in it. And then like I and Angie and Tess, and God, did they need Tess, because she was the only one who could keep it together and actually be useful. So they all pile into Angie's car, and this is the stuff that, like, if they kept doing stuff like this, like, it would just be brilliant. The way when they're running in the car, like, they're poking fun at themselves, where Bette's like, I need to win your mom back again, and it's like, yeah, again.
It's very reminiscent of Angela Robinson's work.
Yeah,
where you could tell where she directed episodes, because you were like, oh, it's just so fun. Yeah, they could totally just have the whole show be fun, you know.
Yeah, that'd be an interesting concept that they could explore. But they get in the car and they're like chasing down Tina's car. Tina has her AirPods in, so she can't hear. I did like that she's like meditating after stressful bedtime, and they're having to catch up to the car. And I did also like genius the way they're all like, Tina, because that's like one of the most famous things from the show, and they're all screaming Tina. And then of course Tess is like, oh, you can catch her on foot, and then we get it. Then she runs through, like, I don't know, about 30 meters of traffic.
Yeah, Tina's like, did you run all the way here? Yes. Like, all the way. Clearly all the way here.
It's like 5 car lengths.
Yeah. She was in heels, so I'll give her a break. But
kind of reminded me a little bit of Imagine Me and You.
I think that was the point, because last season, the cliffhanger, it's always better when we're together, that's from Imagine Me and You as well. So I think this was like more bookending parallel stuff. And then yeah, Bette catches up to the car and delivers one of the best little L-word speeches ever. I loved it. I thought it was perfect for Bette. Jennifer Beals, Laura Holloman obviously knocked it out of the fucking park. 11 out of 10, A+.
Favorite episode ever.
Absolutely. That scene with Bette and Tina at the end, and then even like the whole thing, I even like loved that it was the fact Bet asked and waited until Tina like said get in the car, and then when Bet gets in the car, like absolutely mauls Tina, and it was super cute, except the fucking lighting was terrible again.
It was very dark.
That was my only complaint, but this is the best moment of the L word. This was the best moment of
whole
the
L
L
word.
word. No. There's She Bar is probably still my favorite L word moment, but this was my best moment of the L word generation Q. Very, very, very close second is the OG scene in Dana's from this episode. Like, those two scenes were brilliant. Loved every second.
I love how like she's being all romantic to like Tina in the car, and that guy's like, babe, come on. She's like, shut up, wait a minute.
Bette Porter is still in there, baby. Like, she's still
still there. Can I say the one thing I didn't like about it?
What is it?
I appreciate that, because I think you'll agree with me here in that I
don't know.
like that they cut together the Gigi accident scene. They put it in the middle. I was like, what? Like, A, are they trying to go for that tension of like, oh, are they going to hit Gigi? Is Gigi going to hit them?
Oh.
Because they were unrelated. And it was just really awkward. It was awkward.
Because I was like, is Tina's car or Angie's car going to be the one that hits her?
Yeah, that's what I was like, is that the angle they were going for? Because it was it was just really awkward placement. And I thought, oh, is that what they're doing with Gigi? Like, they're just stuffing it in the middle of that? Like, it felt really out of place. And I'm like, didn't we see photos of like Gigi being put in a like ambulance? Is that like cut out?
Yeah, that's the thing that that's how we initially found out about Gigi leaving, because that is basically like one of the last things she shot. But the guy who played the paramedic posted it on his, I don't know him, but found him on fucking social media. So he posted, and it's like Gigi being loaded in like a neck brace. Nat is in the picture, and I mean, they clearly only have Stephanie Allen for one episode because they're always like, hi Nat, like on the phone. So I think maybe the cold open might pick up with the accident or something, because the episode, we know the episode is taking place further down the road, and Gigi is fine. So,
but also like at the end of this episode, Nat calls Dani and says, "Can you come? She's had an accident," which makes it sound like she's already in the hospital. So I think that whole ambulance thing is getting cut out. Like, they're taking less, like we get less Gigi than what was already in there.
They've been cutting out a lot of stuff, but I mean, this is the thing, like, people are always like, oh, they delete scenes, and this is a bit more me answering like some general questions like people ask, but they always overshoot, like that's just TV. And they also have things called like a candy bag alt, where they will basically, so like, say, you know, we know the Bette and Tina kiss, there was like this alternate where Tina says I have to go and Bette says don't, and they showed that in this episode, but they didn't in the last one. So normally big scenes like that, or even like funny scenes or scenes that they know are quite, you know, a high point, they will say, okay, these are the alternates we have to shoot. And there will be like a Bette and Tina one that has like a little bit more dialogue, or they could say something extra or different. Or if it's like, I don't know, a funny line, like with a punchline, they'll test out like different punchlines and they film them all. And then in the editing process, they'll be like, oh, no, we want this one, or change this one out, or, you know, snip this bit, blah, blah, blah. So that's just television. But there's also just this crazy thing with the L Word, where they are on Showtime. Like, they are beholden to no one. And they don't have to fit in these, like, you know, if you're a show like The Office or Friends, you have to fit in these little pre-packaged amount of minutes because you need so much advertising. But with the L Word, they fucking don't. And they still do this. And the episodes are very short for Showtime. So I don't understand.
It's 45 minutes. And they're normally like
why they don't
in the high 50s, sometimes even over an hour.
And so my thing is as well that this show, that I've been told by many, many, many people who work on it, this show is only here and only on season 3 because of social media, because of stuff like this, because of fans. And the fact that it is such a heavy social media based show, like Jennifer Beals even talked about this at her interview in San Francisco last week, how they're like, even when the L Word wasn't on, like it was so active on social media. So logic would dictate, oh, these people fucking love the show and talk about it. Why would you not add on deleted scenes and stuff like that onto even, you don't even have to do anything. You just need to upload it and we will all do the work for you. Like, you just need to put it somewhere on the DVD or on social media. So I've been on this since like the start of my channel. Like, why do we fucking get nothing? No extras, no commentary, no interviews, nada. And so I thought, well, deleted scenes, they don't have to do any fucking work to get those. And what, like, one of the first things I asked when I was on set was like, can we have deleted scenes and bloopers? Yeah. And then I told Marja's assistant Monica, who's like super nice, and so she said she thought it was a good idea. She told Marja, and then she said to me the other day, because I asked her when I saw the different Bette and Tina scenes, I said to her like, oh, we need these for research purposes, and she said, oh, they're working on it. I did send Showtime an email saying, hey, you know, the way this was, I'm not trying to be that person, but you know how this was like my not deleted scenes isn't like as a concept my idea, but me mentioning it. And so I said like, oh, could, you know, I be involved in some way, or like blah, blah, blah. But of course they ignored me. So they're working on it, but yeah, well, like, I
think you work more on the show than the people who work on the show. It was like back in the day when we would ask them for like things like, hey, how about just letting us know what artists you're using in the background? Or how about we interview some of the cast or crew? And it's like, nope, shut down. So your favorite episode ever?
Yeah, my favorite episode ever of Gen Q. I mean, it makes me a little bit upset too, because I don't know like why. It really frustrated me last season, like obviously with the Bette and Tina stuff, and like trying to put a good, because nobody wants someone to come on and review a show and just be like, I hate everything. So the thing that frustrated me most, even if they didn't want Bette and Tina to get back together last season, was the keeping the OGs separate. I didn't understand that at all. Like, that's the heart of the show, is like this relationship these people have with each other. I mean, like, obviously I love Bette and Tina, but I love the cast together. Like, and I'm talking about the OGs. That's what the show is. And last season, they weren't even together until episode 9. And I know, you know, Jennifer and Eileen at that thing in San Francisco have spoken about, Jennifer said from the very beginning, like, this is what I want. And this is what a lot of people have wanted from the beginning. And I'm so glad that we got it finally. And I just, there is that part of me that's like, what could have been, you know, if we didn't go through like a lot of this stuff? Could we have had 3 years of episodes like this? I mean, you couldn't get that big Bette and Tina moment without them having like some upset. But I think the 2 episodes from season 1 that Laurel was in and showing them divorced, I mean, they could have over season 2 like worked on things or something. But yeah, I mean, you just have to be happy with what we have, and we do have the rest of the season. I'm not gonna lie and say that I'm super excited for next episode or the few episodes beyond.
Oh no, because first time you've ever said that.
It's of my opinion that Jennifer Beals is the heart of the show. Like, she is. And whether you like Bette, whether you like Bette and Tina, Bette Porter like is the show. and I think it's going to be really different. And I'm also super worried that Leisha and Kate both aren't in an episode each. So we are going to have 2 episodes that Leisha's only in one and Kate's only in one. So what does that even look like? So I'm looking forward to the end of the season.
A lot of Pictionary scenes for you.
Yeah. And my fast forward button's going to be like getting its workout. And that's sad. That's sad that someone who's so passionate about the show, who fucking talks about it incessantly, and that I'm saying I fast forward scenes, like, that's sad.
Although I'm looking forward to more Dani scenes. She was hardly in this episode.
Yeah. But what are they going to do with her?
Yeah. Well, obviously put her in a hoe phase.
Yeah, and people are going to hate that.
Maybe
because
not
people
all.
Because people are just...
I think a lot of people would, like, all the Dani and Gigi people are just going to be like, what the hell's going on?
We'll have to wait and see what it looks like.
I did love the text message she sent to Gigi, though.
Yeah, where it's like, fuck Bette Porter. Yeah, that was great.
This was a fantastic kind of give the fans what they want episode in regards to Bette and Tina. And I just hope it's enough. I hope it's enough to carry the part of the season that we're dreading.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of episodes. The thing is too, like, I don't really know that much about episodes 5, 7, and 8. And I mean, everybody told me they're so excited for episode 6. That's a musical. Listen, that could go either way, because as I've said, I'm just not a music person. Like, I'm not. It's just not in me. Like, I love TV, I love movies, but there is some cool OGs coming back. Episode 4 is where I'm like, it's gonna be interesting what they do and what happens there, because that is the first episode without, the people that most people would say are their favorites. It's a Halloween episode. There's lots of guest stars, and yeah, there's some people coming back, and then there's the musical where I think they're going to basically have them, because in the trailer you can see like Alice and Shane where they nearly kiss, and like it's like Dani, Sophie and all that behind them. So I think they're going to do literally all of them together at like this ayahuasca thing, and then I guess they like hallucinate. That's when the musical thing comes in.
Only when it makes sense.
It's weird to kind of like know the ending a bit, but like not know
not the middle
how we
part.
get there.
Yeah. L Word brought to you by Get the Guest Stars.
Which is literally what did I just say? The heart of the show is this is Bette Porter and the relationship that all these people have together. So like literally the opposite of that is bringing guest stars in every week. So
I mean, I love a TV episode musical. I mean, there's no better way to refresh, like, usually it's like a season 5, 6 situation before we get a musical, and they can't all be once more with feeling, but we can hope, we can cross our fingers that it's good.
So that was the episode. Let us know what you thought of Los Angeles traffic. Was it everything you hoped and dreamed for, or were you wondering where Bette's passport was? Next week we shall be back with episode 3, of course, and yeah, big Dani and Gigi stuff is going to go down in that episode. Let us know your thoughts and feelings on the show so far. Make sure that you're following us over on Instagram, and go over there to check out our weekly drinks that we make that are all L Word themed. Our personal Instagram accounts are linked below, and you can also find Chris and Jess at thelwordonline.com, and you can find the video version of the show and any of the videos from my channel that I've spoken about in this recording, and that's on my channel Ash Silver on YouTube. That is linked below too. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you back here next week. Bye.
Bye.